Hello there and welcome to the new Tableau dashboard tutorial. And in this Tableau dashboard tutorial, I will show you a social media dashboard, the Twitter dashboard that you can create if you have this type of a requirement where you are working in an agency or really inspired by the tweets of, let's say, celebrity or the person that you follow. You can basically create a dashboard and create a visualization for that. Also, the main impact or the main thing what I want to show here is the design, the look and feel, the different types of charts that even you can create not just in the social media dashboard, but for your own business dashboard. So that's main idea behind it as to how to create these different good looking visualization, so that in the end you have a good functional dashboard that you can show to your users. So what I will show you is where the data is present, what's inside the data, and finally the visualization. During the visualization, I will talk about the different ways in which you can transform your visualization, and I will encourage you that when I will show that, you take that step and try to see how you can further improve your visualization by choosing a different type of chart. And then we will move on with some tips and tricks, as well as some interview question. As and when it will come, I will be explaining that. So all in all, that's what I will going to show you in this step-by-step tutorial, and I hope you will going to like it. So with that, let's get started. Alright, so here I am on the website data.world, and in that I am here on the RWFT real world fake data. What it has is basically your new community project to curate amazing examples from the Tableau community for real world application. So this is pretty good and one of the best way by which you can really experiment with a real world data set. Not exactly, but similar to that. And then you can create a data set. So earlier I showed you an example of financial consumer complaint, which I took an inspiration from a Tableau public, and showed you how you can recreate that visualization. This time what I'm doing is picking up a social media dashboard, the data set, and then creating a visualization on that. So that's what I will going to talk about. And where is the data? Well, let me bring you the data set. Okay, so here is the data set where you have the tweet, the ID, when this tweet was made and what was the time at that point in time. And you can see that this is 30th June at 9 p.m. This is 5 p.m. This is close to 5 p.m. around 2 p.m. So it has date and time information, how many impression that you have got when you have tweeted it. That means to a number of places where it was shown, and how much was the engagement, like people clicked on that, retweeted that. So it's all engagement and the engagement ratio. Here it shows about all these different pieces, whether person engaged via retweeting it, replying it, liking it, visit the user profile, URL click if there was a URL, if there is any hashtag then clicked on the hashtag, if the tweet is big enough they clicked on the details, if there was a permalink then whether it was clicked on that, app was opened, install, follows, if the follows is something that was being followed after the tweet, email tweet, if somebody email tweet, dial the phone, media views. That's an important one, where like how many media views that has happened and media engagement that has happened based on the tweet. So as you can see, it has a lot of good numerical information, and we will going to analyze some of the numerical information from this by creating a dashboard. Okay, so the dashboard. So where is this? Here I have the dashboard. As you can see, it's a clean layout of the various different metrics that we can show. I am right now showing very simple metrics, as you can see, along with the area chart, and then we have some more additional information like top 10 tweets. So these are nothing but the top 10 tweets, and then whether it is top 10 by URL clicks, or by the media engagement, or by the engagement, or by the likes. All of that something what we are showing, and accordingly we are showing the number that you got 2487 like, 137 like, 114 like on this particular tweet. So that will be easy for someone to quickly glance through as to what on which tweet you have got it, and by this filter we should be able to filter the information. Then you have this calendar sort of a component over here, which shows that for a given month like September, in various different days, in these various different weeks, you have made the tweet. So here a lot of tweets happen, here the count of tweet, here also the tweet, a lot of tweet happens, and you can change the tweets by coming over here and saying, okay, how is the August really looks like. So if you are creating, let's say, a similar type of dashboard for your business, and something you want to see on which particular day the complaint volume is high. Let's say you are creating a call center sort of a dashboard, or support sort of a dashboard, where you are showing the support information, the number of tickets that is coming, the number of tickets that you are resolving. So you can create this type of a calendar where you can have the color as an impact by showing that on what particular day most of the complaints are coming or you are resolving, and things like those. Then you have these what we have, the tweet volumes by weekday. So we have this data for around 4 or 5 months, as you can see over here. We have June, July, August, September, October. So when we consider all of these months, and for a given weekday, on which particular weekday most of the tweets are happening, and looks like it is happening here on the Tuesday and the Thursday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is basically 200 plus where tweets are happening, and we are seeing that these has been the most popular day where the tweets have been happened by the, or tweeted by the end user, or the one who is really tweeting it. Then what we have is information about how many tweets someone did, and whether the details was expanded or not. So we have this count of tweet, and the average time the details have been opened is 10, right? So this is something what I have shown at the hours of time. So looks like around in the afternoon, people are opening the tweets a lot, and similarly sometime in the 7 p.m. in the evening. So it's 0 to 23, it's all 24 hours, and basically show in a glance as to when the tweets are really being opened or details are really being expanded. So that's the overall information that I am showing. But as you can see, if I go back on this, you have a couple of more like hashtag, for example. So there is still a scope where we can do further analysis, where we can look at, okay, if against the number of tweets, how many hashtag clicks are really happening, how many URL clicks are really happening, how many permalink is being clicked, right? So these type of analysis is something very it can be useful when we look into the data, but on the dashboard, sometimes on the dashboard we just try to show only the information that is most meaningful. So that's why I just kept it limited in a very simple layout. As you can see on the left side, we have the 4 KPI supported by the 4 different views that we have, and on the top we can control everything by this time except this one, where for this I have the different filter. And similarly like this, along with the date range, you can control it by the top tweets or URL clicks or any other information. So how we can create this? Let me show you step by step in a very easy manner as to how each of the component has been created. If something is difficult, then I will explain a little slow so that you can easily understand it. Okay, so the first thing is what we have is the total tweets. So if we can click on this and we can come to this go to sheet, or I can click over here on go to sheets. So what I have is the total tweets, as you can see, and here if I expand this, what do I have is the is basically two different fields, as you can see. So the reason for this is that one is basically the area chart over here, and another is the line on top of area chart, so that it gives us sort of a shading effect. And that's what I wanted when somebody is viewing it. It's like a shade. So it just gives a nice and good look and feel when you are showing it in your dashboard. So it's nothing but the dual axis chart that I am using, and I have explained it many times in my previous videos as well, as to when you do a dual axis, it basically creates this type of effect. And then the color that I'm using is basically this one. If I click on more color and go to RGB, if you want to know what exactly the color value is, then this is the color value, which is 3B9FDC. So remember this, 3B9FDC is the color throughout I'm using in the dashboard. So that's the information I wanted to give. Then at the top, I'm using the month information. So for each month, the what is the value, and the top tweets, the total tweets is here, where sheet name is being used. Total tweets is basically the sheet name, and that's what I've used. It's Tableau medium and formatting is 8, and the color that I'm using is the lighter version of black, because I want to show it but do not want to have a lot of impact when user is looking at it. I want to have an impact on this one. That's why you see that it's again Tableau medium. The size is 18, and it is the slightly darker version of the black. That's the same setting is being done in the total in the average impression rate. Okay, one more thing, yes, which is very, very important. So what will happen if I just create this, and if I bring it over here? So we have this sheet where you see that I'm using the this particular detail, fixed tweets count. Now when I try to bring this fixed tweets count, it shows me the information. So generally I have to create, or when you will create it, you will have to create this fixed tweet count, and you can see for each of the KPI I have created this fixed LOD value. So what it is and why we need to create it, right? And then it can be an interview question as well. So what happens, why we need it, is I will show you with the impact. So over here what I have is basically the time, and let's keep it like a month, and then we put the, and we say count, surrounded by count. Okay, so what we get is this chart, and I will just put it entire view. If you want, you can just right click over, you can come over here, right click and say exclude. That way you have the proper value. I think I have not done it over here. I can even do it here in case if I want to remove the null value. Now when I have this, right, so I have count of tweets, so I can, to have the impact like total sheet, the total tweets, we can say new total tweets, and that's what I get it here. Similar way I have used the title over here, total tweets. So that's what I will going to do, and I'll show you the impact what it will going to have. So total tweets is here. I will put it in a center. I will press enter and click on insert, and I will say count of tweet. Generally what I need is basically the total tweet count, right? So if I click apply, you will see that you don't get just a single number, which I was getting it over here, 1181 as a KPI number, or as a number which you want to show it to your user. But what you get is 181 to 312, because we are showing this monthly information, and it's basically saying that tweets are going from 181 to 312. So how would you correct that? It can be an interview question, it can be a question, you know, which your interviewer is asking, or even you are struggling with that if you are creating your own dashboard. So how do you correct that? Well, what I did is I created this fixed tweet count. So if I just show you over here and click on edit, so fixed count of tweet. So what I'm saying is I don't want to take any dimension, just give me the total count, right? That's what I want. So when I put this on a detail, now this is accessible inside this. So if I double click over here again and remove this, click insert, and I have the sum of fixed tweet count, and I click apply, and I get my number. And that's the setting I have done everywhere. Okay, so that's what you are seeing it over here. An important thing I wanted to show you by properly showing you step by step, right from why we need it to how to achieve it. Now next thing, average impression rate. So average impression rate, as you can see, again the same settings where we have the sum of impressions, and we can basically create this area chart, and this is the same setting. If you see, same color coding and same type of formatting that we have done, same type of color that I have chosen, and it's again the fixed impression rate over here, fixed impression average, and click over here. So this is the same. Earlier we had the count of tweet, now we have the average of impression, and that's what we are getting it over here, right? Now the next is your engagement rate, which is 6.65%. Again, this is something by picking up this engagement rate, we have as a field, this is the field as an engagement rate, and we are creating the fixed engagement rate that I have put it over here. And as you can see, is the same way. You have the engagement rate as the title and the fixed engagement rate as your value, and showing that's here in the month of July you have the highest one. Then we have the media engagement, and same settings. We have the media engagement as a field, and that's what I've used over here to find the average media engagement. Then we come to our first chart. So these are the 4 KPI. I just wanted to quickly show one in detail, and then rest of the others step by walk through you as to what has been done, where is the field. The next is the top N tweets, or I can basically say top 10 tweets. Okay, so what's really going on over here is we have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 as a rank, the tweets as a value, and then the one parameter and the calculated field which is going on here. So how do you start this? Well, first of all, you need to choose the value that you want to show dynamically in this chart, right? So you want to show likes, engagement, media clicks, URL, even you can show like expand or other values which are present over there. But once you have this parameter created, top tweet by, if I show you the parameter setting, click go in edit, you will see that the name of the parameter is top tweets by, just so that it is user friendly when we are showing it in the front end. It has to be the data type as a string, and it needs to be a list, and then your values should be here. So this is the value which we will validate in the back end, and this is the value we want to show it in the front end to the user. So remember this piece, which is very important. This is on the left side the value which you want to validate in the back end, and this is the value that you want to show it to your user in the front end. So once you have this top tweets by, what we need to do is create a calculated field to show the impact over here. So we have the show top tweets by. So if I show you this calculated field, and the parameter and calculated field you can create it from here. I have just shown you the parameter settings. Now I will show you how you can create calculated field. So once you click on the create calculated field, what you are going to get is a window like this. If I go in this edit mode, this window where you need to first provide the title, show top tweets by, and then here with the case statement, we are taking the values from here. So case and the parameter name top tweets by, and case top tweets by, and then when likes, that means when the user is selecting likes, then show the field likes. Where is the like? Here it is, right? This is the field name that we are picking. Similarly, when user select URL clicks, then show the field URL clicks. Where is the URL clicks? Down here. This is the field which is here in this orange. When user select media engagement from here, then show the media engagement. Media engagement is present here. And similarly, when engagement user select, then show the engagement field, this one. So this is the setting which is going on here. Show top tweets by, and you can see that this is something which I am showing it over here. So if I click OK, all right. So now along with this, what another thing that is going on is basically two different things. One is the highest tweet selection and the measure values. So what I will do is I will just show you the entire configuration, because it also has ranks and everything, and that will become a little difficult for you as to what's really going on. But I'll show you the rank. Rank is not exactly the rank, but it is basically the index. So if I just come over here and click on edit, it's nothing but the index function. What it gives me is basically the index values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so that I can filter it over here. In edit filter, I can just keep the top 10, right? And I can change it if I want, but for now I just thought of from a dashboarding side that 10 is, I think, a good value that I can keep. But we can make it dynamic this as well. How you can make it dynamic? Think about it. I have shown in one of my videos as to how you can select or how you can make this dynamic. Okay, so this is something. What I will do is create one more new worksheet. So in the new worksheet, first of all, what we need is basically highest tweet by selection. Okay, so what's going on over here is this is an additional field that you need to create. And this is the field where some calculation is going on. We will start by the last one. Okay, and before I show this, the whole idea is that you have this line which is constant, right? So we need to find this line based on whatever user is selecting. Okay, so whatever user is selecting is coming over here. That's the connection I have shown you already. Now we need to identify the maximum value of this particular field. So the maximum value is the first one, right? The 428 over here. So if you see the highest tweet for each value, it is 428. So that's the maximum value I need to identify for any given category. So for this, what calculation I need to do in a calculated field is this one. If I click over here and go into edit, sum of show top tweets by. So show top tweets by is taking the value from parameter and showing you the field. Then we are saying that fixed it at tweet level because that's what we are showing the tweets. And once we have the sum of top tweets, then we are finding out of all the tweets that we are having, what is the maximum value based on the user selection. So for example, if user is selecting like, so you have once you will plot, or if you have seen that, you will have the list of all the tweets along with the sum of like. And what we are doing is finding the maximum value out of that as a single value, and we are keeping it fixed. That means by no dimension, that means it will always be the one value that we will going to get in the front end. Let me know if it is confusing. I have shown it in a previous video as well, the previous dashboard video. If you have not seen that, I highly encourage you look at that. So once you have this, what you need is highest tweets by selection. This will be one single value, right? So what I will show you is tweets, add all members. You see that it will always be the highest, always be constant, right? And that's why we are able to create that line impact. And then once we have this, then what I do is I put the rank before this. So what it gives me is just the numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up till end, right? And I can then filter to first of all, before I do that, what I need to do is I need to also pick the tweet, or not the tweet but the measure values. Okay, so once I have this, the measure values, what I need is in this measure name, click on edit filter, say none. We need show top tweets, this field, because we want to show the actual tweets on top of this. So we need this one, and just one more dummy field like URL clicks. You can click anything. I will remove the URL click in a minute. But what I need is another additional dummy field is sum of 0. Many of you have asked me as why we need this sum of 0, right? So this is basically needed to create an impact that from where the value will start and up till what end the value will go. So value is starting is here, and this is the maximum end point. So what we do usually is in this case, you have this measure name. What we do is we select basically the line and we put the measure names on the path. So the measure name is nothing but this and this. So starting from here going all the way till end, and that's what we get, starting from here going all the way till the end, right? So once we have this, all of this value and this tweet and everything, now the next thing is we need to do some sorting. Okay, so the sorting is basically on the tweet. So if I click on sort, it's not the data sort order, but it needs to be a field, and the field is your show top tweets by, and it needs to be ascending. Okay, so once we have this, we know what we are showing it over here, and then once we have this, we can click over here and click on dual axis. Okay, as soon as we click on dual axis, you will see that line is present over here, which we need to increase the size a little bit. Okay, and over here we change this to a bar. So over here we have to reduce this. Yeah, this one is good. This much is, I think, okay. And we increase this further as much as we want. So like this, we have got the same effect. So if I choose the color, first of all, for the bar, over here I have this color, and then for line also I need to choose the color. The only thing is, for the bar I can come back to color and reduce the opacity. Okay, and then it's all formatting. So we right click on format, and over here we just say rows, columns, none, and we don't need any zero line. Okay, and so these are all the row lines and everything, so we don't need any of these. If I go to this sheet, we don't need row divider, so it's gone, and we don't need the column divider, and this is a zero line. So if I go again here in the grid, in the lines, and in the column and zero line, none, so now the zero line is also gone. I will just right click here and synchronize axis, again right click and uncheck the show header. Okay, now what I can do is I can click here and click on filter, just say none and only select 10 values. Once I select this and click OK, you will see only the 10 values, right? Now what I need is basically this one, show as a parameter, and whatever will be the selection, it will be changing the value accordingly. The last piece is that you have these values, which is nothing but the sum of show top tweet. So we will bring it this here and convert it into discrete, and you have the value. All right, so that is probably the chart which something you may want to create, because there are like a couple of things which is going on, and I know, you know, when you are learning on a very first time, it will be slightly difficult. So just wanted to show you step by step what you need to do. The next thing is creating this particular chart, and it is very easy. What you see is based on the two values, which is weekday and week time. So weekday is nothing but once you bring the time onto the columns, you need to go in and from the default value, whatever it is showing, go to the more, and over here you need to select the weekday. And I have the custom because it will show you the entire name, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the entire name. But what I have done is I have right clicked over here and clicked on format, and over here I have chosen the abbreviation from here in the date section. That way it's basically become the custom over there. Now for the second row as well, you will bring the time, okay, and you will going to choose this time the week number, right? It will distort, or it will create some different visualization, but not like this. The only thing that you need to do is change this to discrete. It will be continuous, so you need to change this to discrete, and you will have the setup like this, where you will change the default visualization to circle, and you on the color, what you have is the count of tweets. So when you bring the tweet over here, or you just, what you can do is, even you can write like this, count tweet, and when you click this, you have the option of choosing it color, and you know what color you need to choose, right? It's the same thing what I have chosen over here as well, by clicking over here and putting the same value. Slightly different from what I showed you earlier, but keep it the same one which I mentioned it. Okay, so that way you can create this tweet by day and week chart, and I'm using this filter month time. So when you bring the time onto the filter, choose the month, right? If I bring it probably again here, choose this month and click next, and you will be having the value like this one, month, and show it in the front end. And then what you have is the tweet volume by weekday. So it's basically a lollipop chart, which I have shown a couple of times previously as well. It's nothing but the dual axis chart, as you can see, the count of tweet and the count of tweet. One tweet is basically your bar over here, and another one is basically the circle. And only thing is the setting, that circle needs to be slightly big and the bar need to be slightly less, and we need to change it based on the dashboard setting, because in the dashboard, if you see, the lines are pretty thin. So that is based on a little bit back and forth process of making sure that we are getting the right value. Another thing is showing the value inside this. So in the circle, enable the label, and what I have chosen is the vertical and the middle as an assignment, where it should place the value, and what you are getting is 239, 215, 230, and whatever information is. So that's basically is what is a very simple setting, very simple dual axis chart. You bring two fields, make it dual axis, make one as bar, another as circle, and you will get the output. Tweet details, again, it's a different type of chart, as you can see. So what's basically going on over here is the count of tweet, the total count of tweet, and then average of detail expand. Now obviously the detail of expand cannot be more than the tweet, right? So in that case, what I have done is I have taken the average of this and imposed it or put it on top of the tweet. So it's like we have 54 tweet, but it got on an average expanded by 10.87 or almost like 11. We can change it to 11 as well. So how we are doing it is basically first we bring the hour and tweet, and then we bring the measure values over here, right? And once we bring the measure values, what it gives is measure names in the filter. Make sure you do the edit filter and remove everything. Just keep the two values, one which you absolutely needed like average, detail, expand, and the second one will be your sum of zero, like I just showed you here in this chart. In this chart I have shown you there. So the same thing you need to do, and then make it a dual axis. Once you have the dual axis, slight settings you need to do, like for bar you need to choose the gray color like I have done it over here on the count of tweet. And for the line, because we have to put the measure name on the path, as you can see, we need to choose the color which is the relevant one, in this case like this one. So with this we will have this beautiful looking visualization. Everything is created properly, and then in the dashboard it's all about arranging it. So we have a lot of different mechanisms in which we can really utilize as to what we really need to do. For example, we can have horizontal, I have shown you many times. We can have vertical, as I have shown here. So this time I have gone with the vertical on the KPIs, so that because these are all the area charts and everything, and then the 4 sections over here, and everything is in floating. So what usually whenever you create a new dashboard, if let's say if I click it over here, dashboard, you have two options. You want tiled or you want floating. Tiled is basically pretty tight, where you have to have the horizontal vertical container and you need to bring everything inside that. But for this dashboard I have chosen the floating one, this one. So what happens with floating one, it gives me the entire flexibility as to wherever I want to put everything I can put it. So what I have done is I have bring total tweets, total new tweets, average impression rate and media engagement over here, and just make sure with the help of the layout I have the X, Y and width and height position, like how much width and how much height I needed. For example, if you see width, height for this one, and I want to keep it same. So it basically gives me this entire flexibility, and let me just show you what I mean by that. So this is the dashboard. Let me show you the tile. So if I bring the total tweets here, what it does is it basically take the entire space, and then when I bring the new one, I can put it wherever I want, like this one. But what happens if I create a new dashboard, the new dashboard, and keep it floating? In this case, I bring the total tweets, and you can see that it is a floating object, right? So that's why, because the floating style has been chosen, so that's why I can keep it wherever I want. And then I can bring the another one, and I can keep it wherever I want. I can keep the third one, I can keep it wherever I want. That's basically what's going on over here. I don't have to really be super strict with the tiled view with all the containers, and it's a different way of how you can really create the dashboard. And then I have simply brought all of these values over here, the chart, and make sure this value is properly placed here. It will be shown by default. Changed few settings. For example, for this title, this is nothing but the text object. If I double click, you will see that it is a text object, and text object is present over here. The background, I have not changed the background of overall this white which is present. So what I thought is let's keep it white as it is, but for the objects I want to keep it slight gray. So I select the object, go into the layout, and in the background I have chosen this one, the first lightest shade of gray. Same is the case of this one. You will see that background is the lightest one, but over here for the for one part, I think if I select this, yeah, as you can see, when you select the gray, right, over here, only the title part changes, not the sheet where the area is present. So what you may need to do is, you may need to right click over here, go into the format, come here in the shading, and over here in the sheet, you need to choose this gray color. If you will not choose, what will happen is like this. You will have this gray and you will have this as white. But we want both. So I have chosen this one. And that way I have made all of my chart one by making sure all the titles are like grayed with the help of this background color. And then I have right clicked on every component, go to format, shading, sheet, and then the same light gray. And that's the same setting I have done for arranging the visualization, which you can see is going over here. The time is the one filter which I have kept it. I think over here somewhere in one of the visualization you can put it like in the total tweet or somewhere. And the only setting which you need to do is come over here, click on apply to worksheet, and you can mention then all using this data source. So that way it will have an impact on all the visualizations, right? So that way whenever you will change, you will see that all your visualizations are changing. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show it to you as to how you can really do this. If you need this template, the instruction is present in the comments as to what you need to do to get this template. I am helping you. You need to help me a little bit and get this template. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial and this new design that I have shown it to you. Let me know if you have any questions, or let me know if you want me to create a different design which probably you have seen somewhere. I'll be more than happy to take a shot at it and create one for you. All right, so that's about it, and I'll meet you in the next video with a new topic.